Hello there, this is p.2 and this is Art of Rooms. And alright, let's continue talking about Asphalt Legends Unite, and this is part 2 of my patch notes overview that I started doing yesterday. These patch notes are ridiculously long, so I had to split it into 2 parts to be able to cover all of it, read through the entire thing, and also give you my thoughts on it. If you haven't watched the part 1, link is appearing in the top right, so you should check it out, because over there I show you the new cars and the new seasons that are happening and all of that stuff. Over here we're going to go into the more general changes that are happening under the hood of the game. So, check that video. And if you like my content, by the way, hit the like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Remember, anytime that there's news, you bet that I'm going to be making a video on it. But alright, let's get reading, because there's still a lot that we need to cover, and I'm also going to show you the garage level, so stick around. Alright, so, new multiplayer changes. The launch of Unite, along with crossplay functionality, has brought a renewed focus on multiplayer. From now on, we want our multiplayer mode to feel more dynamic and varied, as we include regular updates to ensure it feels fresh and exciting. Of course, we'll be paying close attention to player feedback and make sure our changes are hitting the right notes. On release, we'll be introducing 2 new permanent multiplayer modes, World League and Season Series. The first one being World League, our core competitive mode. More veteran players will recognize this as our expansion on Classic World Series. With all our players uniting under one roof and having more players competing together, we knew we needed to expand our current multiplayer and breathe some new life into it. Jesus, that's so many words to say. Here's something new. All right, let's get to it. So the first change is car filters. Not all cars will be available to compete, and we'll be changing our car rosters from event to event to keep them fresh. We also won't be grouping cars solely based on car class, but more based on the car rank. This will allow for more balanced and interesting car selections. So what this means is that, how many cars are in the game right now? Like, I don't know, 300, something like that. I don't even know anymore, but let's say it's 300 cars. Even if you don't own the cars, anytime that you jump into multiplayer, you have the ability to select any of the 300 cars so long as you own it. However, and I know this because they did experiment with something like this in the Switch version some months ago, where instead of having the entirety of all of the cars available, you know, obviously the ones that you have, you can drive, the ones you don't, you can't. But instead of having that, they would have a smaller pool of cars, and that pool would be changing every 2 weeks. So, for example, in 1 week, let's just think about real quick Class B cars. You would be able to drive the Huracan, you would be able to drive the 911 GT3 RS or something like that. But then in the next pool, those cars are no longer available, but now you have the chance to drive your Apollo IE, you have the chance to drive your F1 LM, to drive, and every single week it was different cars. And the fun part about, at least how it was on the Switch, is that sometimes they would bring cars that are from a different class into a particular league. You know how it works, right? In the Bronze League, you get to use Class D. In Silver, you get to use D and C. In Gold, you get to use D, C, B. You know how that works. Over here, once you were, for example, in Gold League, where you would be able to use normally Class B or lower, they would also bring some of the quote-unquote worse Class A cars, but suddenly a bad Class A car can very well compete against Class B. So that created some really, really interesting matches. And for example, same thing with Class S. You know that there's so many useless Class S cars because they just can't compete against other Class S. But guess what? If you bring those versus Class A, they're a completely different thing, and that gets super fun. So I really hope that that's what they're doing over here. And I understand that people will be a little bit bothered by the idea of not being able to drive the cars that they have grinded so hard or paid money for. I understand that, so we have to see what's going to be the player reception for it. Hopefully, it's going to be positive. Because seriously, the way that it opens the game to different matches with cars that you would never use normally, it's so refreshing, but we'll see how that goes. Next change says sub-tiers. As we get ready for our players to finally compete together, each tier will be broken into sub-tiers, allowing for larger number of players to compete and still provide meaningful progression. I believe what this means is that where before, if let's say, I don't know what are the numbers, but let's say that there's 250,000 players playing the game in total, right, amongst all of the regions. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just giving you a random number. 250,000. Then you would have all of those people competing together, right? In multiplayer, you could be, if you're the worst player ever with the worst card, you'll be in position 250,000 because you're the lowest. But what I believe they will be doing here is, for example, dividing those 250,000 into 5 groups of 50,000. So each one of the groups is going to have their own first place in each one of them. Their top 15, their top 100, and all of that. That's what I believe this means. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it sounds like. because I know that they did something like that in Asphalt 8, in a different mode called Gauntlet, whatever. But I think that's what they're trying to do over here. Separate them to have different groups and different, let's say, top players on each one of the groups. But anyway, moving on. No format structure. The World League would offer the competitive experience year-round over a total of 6 splits of the following structure. There's going to be a round which is going to be 2 weeks. Once completed, you will be able to claim your rewards for the round, and all players will be slightly demoted before the next round starts. Basically, this is what we already know as a regular series. 2 weeks, you do the week, you do progression, rank up, and all of that. You get your rewards at the end, and then move on to the next one. Now, after one of these rounds ends, another run will begin, and once you have done 4 rounds, it's considered a split. We'll also grant greater rewards upon completion, and players will also be dropped in ranks before the next split starts. So basically, 6 rounds makes it into a split, and once a split is completed, you get even the rewards for finishing the split. If you've ever played, what is this called? Clash, you kind of know how that works, where the Clash is divided precisely into small rounds and then into a big end of season that lasted a bunch of different rounds, and then you get even higher rewards from that. So I think that's what they're going with over here, so that's interesting. Once a new round starts, players will start their competitive climb, gaining ranks as usual based on your performance. Same thing that I was saying. Once the round ends, you'll be able to claim the final rewards. Player total rank will also be slightly reduced before the next round begins. Don't worry, you won't lose a few sub-tiers and won't be demoted entire tiers at a time. Honestly, I don't understand why this is a problem. I mean, I look at this in my own personal experience. I think what they're talking about, the tiers, it's the situation with the leagues. Is that what they're talking about, being demoted? You know how once you finish a series, you get demoted all the way back to bronze and you start to climb again, right? In every series. But that climb, I think it's part of the fun of the game of, you know, driving with different classes and all of that. And if they're saying that that's not going to happen here so much, I don't understand. I'm going to stay skeptical, but open to see how that's going to work. Because I'm a little worried that that's going to focus too much on always driving in the same Class B, A, S, and nothing lower than that. We already know that it's a problem driving in Class D, because very rarely you have the opportunity to drive multiplayer with that, because of how the system works, but we'll see. Once a split ends, you'll be able to claim the final split rewards based on your performance over the past 4 rounds. After a split... Wait, 4 rounds? Wasn't it? Oh, yeah, 4 rounds, okay. I thought it was 6, but never mind, it's 4. After a split, players will also suffer a demotion. So yeah, basically like when the season ends, you get back to a lower league or whatever. The end goal, of course, is to see how high you can climb within the competitive year. At the start of a new competitive year, all competitive progress will be reset, and you'll be back to defend your claim for another year. Look, I think it's interesting, but making it a full year of, I mean, I don't know, maybe it'll be great. Maybe people will enjoy it, but that seems like extremely long-term goals, extremely long for a full year. Oh boy. You can also expect to see a few changes in rules settings and card rotation each round, but we'll share more info once we're closer to events themselves, so keep your eyes peeled. So yeah, the whole thing about the card rotation is what really gets me interested, precisely like I was saying, to see more cars being driven, cars that normally do not have or do not play a part in multiplayer because they're just straight up bad cars. Well, if they're now organized in a different manner where maybe low class S gets to fight against high class or medium high class A, and low class A gets to fight against medium class B. You know what I'm saying, right? So they mix in that way. I think that would be really, really interesting to see. I hope to see a lot of that. These changes will allow for a more finely grained level of competition given our increase in players and provide a longer progression system for all. Again, I'm open to see how that's gonna feel with the full year consideration, but we'll see. The inclusion of sub-tiers will also allow for more accurate matchmaking, along with allowing us to reward players each step of the way as they unlock unique rewards in addition to the card filter. It might be a longer goal to aim for will make it worth every step of the way. Let's hope that is the case. And look, again, I will try to remain positive, but if we know one thing, is that things start pretty and eventually Game Love is like, nah, let's nerf things massively. You know how the whole thing with the blueprints, rewards and multiplayer, how we suffered at some point that when they cut all of the blueprints they have, all of that stuff. So look, I want to be positive, but I remain skeptic. Furthermore, changing our philosophy on card filters will let us break the barriers of class filters and allow for some unique matchup yet to be seen in a competitive environment. Again, is what I was talking about, of mixing the classes in a way that makes more sense, because there's some stigma of saying of the mix of the classes, because you know we haven't encountered those situations where I'm driving here my my Lamborghini Aventador SV, that is what I have for Platinum, and then I'm starting to face Class S cars, and suddenly it's my Aventador SV versus a Koenigsegg Jesko. That's a horrendous matchup. But over here, I think what they're doing is trying to match, again, the lower side of a higher class with the higher side of a lower class. You know what I'm saying? High B versus low A type of deal. I think that's interesting. We hope this will also allow for a more new player-friendly introduction to the competitive series, while allowing more balanced and epic matchups in our higher tiers. And yeah, again, Venoms with Venoms and Jeskos and Bolides and things like that, so that they're not matching against someone driving a poor Veneno, which is a terrible car in Class S. That's what I hope to see. I hope that's what they're doing, and that would be absolutely fantastic. Then the next one is the Season Series, again, the other multiplayer part. A new multiplayer series that allows for a more casual experience. I like that. Here we want to offer a more relaxed and open experience, free from restriction and car filters, and car filters. So there's not going to be car filters, meaning it's going to be like, hey, once again, the entire pool of cars, whatever you have, you get to drive, and allowing you to face the rest of the Asphalt community with anything that you have in your garage. Of course, we will still be matchmaking you against cars with a similar rank, and this is very important because the way that they were phrasing this sounded like, I don't know, for people that play Asphalt 8, it sounds like what is called Master Season, where whatever car that you have, you get to drive it from the start of the season. So that makes it so that from the very beginning, instead of playing with Class D and then C and so on, you get playing with Class S and you play Class S all day long, and that's the only thing that people drive. But over here, they make the clarification that there's still gonna be a matchup with cars of similar rank. So hopefully, let me try that again. Hopefully, if I want to drive my Resbani Beast, which has a rank of what, like 2500, I'm gonna get matched against a lot of cars of around 2500, some hundreds more, hundreds less, but so that is a more fair match. And I think if that is the case, that's such a good thing. But you'll be free to practice in whichever car you own and get some action on your favorite ride. So yeah, this part does sound like, indeed, from the very beginning, you can pick whatever car you want. No longer you have to climb to a certain league in order to use your Class A car. From the start, I can drive my Class A car, but I'm gonna be matched against people also driving similarly ranked cars. And honestly, that is such, oh man, I can tell you how excited this makes me, because that is how Asphalt 8 multiplayer works, and I love it for the fact that it allows me to play with whatever car I want. This is something that I've always disliked about the system in Asphalt 9, where I have a lot of cars in the game, and I love my Renault Sport RS01, and I want to drive it a bunch because I love that car. But guess what? I'm gonna rank up from Silver League, which is where you get to use that car, and suddenly that car is no good in Class B races, and now I have to move on to Class B races, even if I wanted to stay playing with that other car more. This is what it seems that it's going to be changing, and I can't tell you how excited I am about it, because I've been wishing for this for years now. And if it is indeed the way that I'm understanding it, this is going to be so much fun, so much exploration of a bunch of different cars. Man, I am excited. And these events will last a week and offer rewards based on your series score. So it's only going to be a 1 week series, but hey, this is fine. Then we got new showroom events. So we move on from multiplayer, we get now into the showrooms, and these are the new ones. Renault RS01, yeah, I mentioned it on purpose because I knew it's over here. This is a key car that has been available very few times in the game, so now you'll be able to get it for sure. Beautiful car, not particularly useful, but hey, classy. Then the Vandalectic Dendrobium, because we don't have enough of these cars in the game already. We need more, so let's make it so that anybody can get it really easily. All right. Not necessarily really easily, because, you know, showroom needs a ton of grinding and all of that, but man, the spam of Vanda will continue. Oh boy, we'll see how that goes. The Dodge Viper ACR, and in Season 2 we're also gonna get the Neo EP9, so I don't know why they are waiting like that, but okay, we'll see. Overall, not super excited about this, other than for the Renault Sport RS01. The Vanda you can get easily, but relatively easily, you know, by regular progression in the game, though it takes a bunch of time. The Dodge Viper, very easy to get, and the Neo EP9 gets hunts normally, so hey. But still, new events. Then we got Speeders. We're also seeing a new event feature releasing with Asphalt Legends Unite Speeders. On select events, keep an eye for our speeded pads. Colorful pads placed on the track that will immediately give you a boost if you race over them. Take full advantage if you want to take first place, but careful not to crash. This reminds me a lot of what the I've seen this in Need for Speed No Limits. If you play that game, you know what this is about. You go into a little thing, it suddenly sends you super fast, but you need to keep going into them to go at full speed. I think it's very self-explanatory. Then we have a part that is going to be very controversial, but I think this could be a good thing. Balancing changes. The team will be undertaking new balancing project that will span several updates. Throughout this and future updates, we'll be tweaking the stats and performance of a few cars, both applying buffs and nerfs to a few outstanding cars whose performance does not seem to represent the car's garage rating. We will make sure to keep you updated via regular patch notes of any changes coming each update. Alright, so before I read the specifics, what they're saying over here is that there's a mismatch in some particular cars that will obviously are going to be telling us which ones they are, where the rank and the performance of the car don't match. And in fact, we have got this, was it last year or the year before, where they changed the rank of the Vencer Sarth, where it was like 3,000 and now the Vencer Sarth is like 3,500. The performance did not change, but they changed the rank so that it reflects better the actual performance of the car. Now, normally this would be completely pointless because it makes no difference. It hasn't made any difference. The Vencers are going for rank of 3,000 to 3,500, and I'm sorry if I have them wrong, but this is just to give you the idea, right? The change of the rank meant nothing because you could still use the car when you get in Silver League, and guess what? It doesn't matter anymore because in Silver League you get to use whatever car you have on Class C. So the rank didn't matter, but now that the matchmaking is going to be happening based on car rankings, or allegedly, hopefully, then this does make sense. Because then if you have a car that has a rank that doesn't represent at all the performance and it's really good for the low rank, then it's gonna be an OP car once it gets matched against other cars of similar rank. Now, this is gonna be honestly a massive undertaking that they're going here with on balancing cars, because we all know that the ranking system in this game, it's a little bit all over the place. We have cars in different classes that have the same rank, but the performance are massively different. And I think for the most part, they're not necessarily going to be tackling this, just the most insane cases of completely mismatched performance to rank. But still, it's interesting that they're going to take into it. And this is why I said that it was going to be very controversial. Because, for example, there's two adjustments. The Vel 16 fixed several physics bugs that are affecting car performance. Basically, over here, they're just talking about adjusting the hit box or the collision box of the car, because it's a very long car. Apparently, it behaves really weirdly with how it bounces and whatnot. So this is not necessarily an adjustment to the performance of the car, but rather of the physics. So I think that's a good thing, because you don't want cars that are completely unreliable. But this one is the one that might be kind of controversial. Hennessy Venom F5, the nitro stat has been slightly lowered to 24.07 and 46 at max. Honestly, I don't even know what is the maximum. Hold on, let me find that out. Okay, I just checked. The max, or rather gold stat, is 49, so they're nerfing it to 46. I don't think it's that much of a change, but there it is. Developer notes this is a small nerf. This is a small nerf to bring it more in line with its ranking in game. We felt nitro was a bit too high. A bit too high for a car with that top speed. Okay, that's weird wording, but okay. And this should bring its performance more in line with expectations. So yeah, a bit of an adjustment. Again, people that have this car obviously are gonna see this as a horrible thing, and I understand why would people be upset about it. But hey, they're going on with it, and I do imagine that they're gonna continue doing this with other cars. But it remains to be seen how much is it really gonna affect. Because I don't know how I own this car. I don't drive it enough. But do you guys really think, and this is a legit question, by the way, this is not a mocking question or a rhetorical question or anything, rhetoric, oh, whatever. Is there really much of a difference from 49 to 46? I really don't know. Please let me know what you guys think about it. I know, obviously, the knee-jerk reaction will be like, oh my god, why are they nerfing it? But is it really that big a deal? I don't know. But anyway, then we have the Nintendo Switch Bank. So you know how there's a bank feature in the game? Well, basically what they're saying over here is that for Nintendo Switch players, once Asphalt Unite drops, whatever progress you had in the bank is gonna be reset. So yeah, sorry for the inconveniences, and they're gonna give some compensation for people that are affected by it. But yeah, there's that. Then we have the device support changes due to the increased performance requirement of the new in-game engine. What did I say? I said it. I always said it. Better graphics, dynamic lights and shadow system equals high requirements, means the game is gonna perform worse on a bunch of devices. And over here, we're dropping support on all devices that have no Vulkan API support. If you require the full list of devices, please contact customer care. The Vulkan API, basically what it means, that's a bit difficult to explain, but it's basically a more direct use of the hardware resources by the software without going through the operating system to ask for allowance of the resources. This is a very bad explanation, but I'm just trying to give you the idea. It's like if the software directly tells the GPU, hey, I need all this memory, and the GPU is like, there you go, as opposed to the software going, hey, operating system, can you tell the GPU that I need this? And you know, it takes away that, so in general it means better performance. This is something that you see on consoles in general, but I'm not gonna go into details, but yeah, whatever. The point is that devices that don't have Vulkan API, then they're no longer supported. And they will also no longer support Android devices with the GPU, this one, and the full list, it's all of this. Why? No idea. Probably because this is just not powerful enough to handle the game. But yeah, so these are the devices that are no longer going to be allowed, or rather supported, so oof. But what can I say? This is sadly just how things go once big updates like this happen. So yeah. And that does it for the patch notes. However, there's something else that I wanted to tell you or show you. And that is the garage level updates. Oh yeah, now we have information. I'm gonna read through it, but yeah, I will actually show you all of the cars that are gonna be there, because they don't list them over here. They link you to a video, but hey. We're days away from the release of Asphalt Legends Unite. Before you're finally able to get your hands on the update, we'd like to give you more details about our garage level upgrade, as it's more than simply raising the level cap. New level cap and collector stages. The new garage level cap will be increased to 60 for Asphalt Legends Unite, but it doesn't end there. Once players reach level 20, we'll be introducing them to collector stages. Collector stage 1 from level 21 to 40, and then collector stage 2 from 41 to 60. The first level of each collector stage will also have lower point requirements to complete, so you can expect to quickly level through the first level of each collector stage before progression requirements ramp up again. Fair warning. Alright, before I get into the fair warning, what they're saying over here is that once we'll have a more in-depth look into it, but basically collector stage 0, it's level from level 0 to level 20, and that is just kind of like the regular progression that you have. And you know that the higher that your level is, the more points it requires. It starts becoming harder and harder and harder to get to them. But once you get to level 21, instead of continuing to go even harder and harder and harder than how already difficult it was, once you get back up here in level 21, you go back into easy mode again, and they're actually going to give you low-ranked cars or low-class cars. We'll have a look at that later. But yeah, and it's going to ramp difficulty to get to level 40. Once you hit level 41, it goes easy again, and it starts ramping up all the way again to level 60. So that's what they mean over there. Then we go into the fair warning. Reaching level 60 is not an easy task, and it will require the deepest of garages, so don't expect any player to be able to hit it anytime soon. Also, for those who have been sitting at level 18 for a while, don't worry, because you're about to hit the fast track. You'll automatically level up your garage level when you first log into the game, and you won't miss out on any level up rewards. Alright. So the first thing over here is what they're saying about that it's going to be very difficult to get to level 60. And I did see a comment in another video where we're talking about this whole thing, where it's like, oh, how is it going to be good if it's going to be so difficult to get and all of that. I think this is a good thing because it does provide the long-term objective. And actually, by taking some time to get to the higher levels, it allows you to buy the blueprints for cars that are already unlocking on the Legend Store that you didn't have already. So I think this is a good thing, and honestly, yeah, it's just gonna take a while for you to get there. Probably a long while, but to a certain extent, given how sick we've been, or how sick and tired we've been of being at garage level 18 for years, for people that like myself that have been playing for a while. Finally, having again more stuff unlocking in this way, I think it's a good thing. What they're saying over here about people that are precisely at level 18, yeah, so basically your points are gonna convert into the new system, and you're gonna level up to whatever level your garage points are, or that would take you at. So, I don't know, let's just give a random number. Let's say that your garage is worth 5 million or 50 million. Let's give it a 50 million. and you were at level 18 for a while, well, once this new update drops, you're still gonna have your 50 million, but now that the calculations are gonna be different, it's gonna take you to whatever stage. Let's say that instead of level 18, where you've been stuck for a while, that's gonna take you to level 35. Well, you're gonna get all the rewards from doing that, and you're already at that level. So that's gonna be interesting. Then we got the level up rewards. Curious to find out what cars will unlock as rewards for each level. Then head over to your favorite content creators that will likely have a video for you. We've shared the entire list exclusive content to our content creators for them to dive and analyze along with their community. Here's NoxFury video so you can check it out. So I'm gonna put the link to this particular video over there if you wanna watch it. But I made my own thing from this type of content because, well, I like to present it in a different way. When I watch how the content creators made, and by the way, this is not a dig to any of the content creators. They do the thing as they want to do it. That's perfectly fine. But I just personally didn't like how they presented the information because it was basically just scrolling through a list, and I found it kind of dizzying to be looking at the list moving and trying to pause constantly to figure out, oh, what car was that and all of that. So instead, I kind of edited my own thing so that you can see it. I'm going to show you all of the levels. We're going to talk about the cars. Now, the first thing that I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go a little bit fast from level 1 to level 20. Because like I said, the garage that we know, the garage levels were up to level 18. Now, they spread those levels to 20, and these are the same cars that you have been able to get all along. That's why I said that I'm gonna go a little bit fast in that sense, because all of these are the levels that you kind of know. A little bit edited so that, you know, it's different levels for different cars. Again, just stretched out a little bit to cover 20 instead of 18. But yeah, let's have a look. So again, all of this it's the normal stuff. There's level 1. Level 2, again, very normal cars. Level 3, the stuff that you normally get. Level 4, yeah, again, these are the basic cars. You're not gonna find anything super interesting in this. Level 5, level 6, it's the stuff that you know. Level 7, I'm gonna leave a bit of time so you can see it if you wanna pause there. Level 8, level 9, level 10, here's where we start getting a bit of a more epic blueprints. Level 11, 12, 13. You can see these all are the cars. 14, the same cars that you get normally. So that's why I said that I'm going a little bit fast over here, because I don't think there's much to talk about all of this stuff. It's cars that you know. Again, they're only split a little bit different. Level 17, level 18. It takes to level 18 to get to the Hurricane Evo, for example. Normally would be, I believe, level 16. But still, Pagani Huayra BC, Aperta, and finally this is the last one, level 20 with the Bugatti Chiron and GT Aquilon, which again are the last cars that you can get in the regular garage of Asphalt 9 in level 18. So that's why I said that it's a little bit stretched out just to cover 20 levels. Now, this is the regular first 20 levels, and then we get to collector stage. Over here says stage 2, don't worry about it, I forgot to clean this up or whatever. This is the collector level or collector stage 1, in which you start getting, like I said, we went from class S and class A all the way to class D, and you're like, why? But this is what they were saying, that this becomes easier again once you hit the next tier. There's the first tier from level 0 to 20, the second tier, you know, I think I know, you know what I mean, right? So yeah, we get in level 21, the Infinity Project Black S, which I think it has gotten car hunts. Lamborghini Countach 25th anniversary, which there were no available car hunts for this thing. If you got it when you got it, good. But no car hunts, so finally I'll be able to take this thing to 4 stars. And level 22, we got the Ferrari Roma car hunts normally. Lotus Emira, I think there's been some car hunts and Emira weekends there used to be. So again, and by the way, I'm just gonna preface, all of the cars that they've added to the levels are not key cars, and that makes sense, because key cars, the way that key cars work doesn't make sense on the Legends store. But yeah, you can expect basically the car hunts that don't need keys, well, because they're not key hunts, these are the cars that we're going to be finding over here, but I'm still going to try to mention what they are. So again, level 22, we got the Ferrari Roma and Lotus Emira, again, low class B and an okay class D. Level 23, we got a mid class D with the BMW i8 and the Renault Desert. In level 24, we got the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, which is a strongish class D, and Celine S1 Class C, which is mid, I think mid Class C. Then we got in level 25 the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, which is on the slightly higher side of Class C. You can also tell by the rarity of the blueprint being a gold blueprint, or whatever these are called. Yeah, this is a 5-star car. But yeah, this is starting to be on a higher tier of Class C. Draco GTE. Man, this card needs so many blueprints. It's gonna be so annoying. But anyway, mid-low class B. Level 26, we got the McLaren Elba, which is interesting because, again, this is a card that has been pay to win for a while. I think it has already gotten a couple of car hunts, but still, good to see it that I'll be able to finally max it out. Then we got the Lamborghini Diablo GT. By the way, McLaren Elba, it's mid, slightly high. No, I would say just a straight up mid class B. Lamborghini Diablo GT is high class C. Not straight up, what's it called? Elite? Not elite level, but still very strong. A lot of people don't appreciate this card, but man, it's such a strong, super fast card with bad acceleration. But yeah, high class C. Then we got in level 27 the Sin R1550, which is very interesting because this is a card that you have been able to get in the game for a while now in the Legend Store, but not for credits or tokens, but for what are they called? Trade tokens or trade coins, the red tokens, right? And it takes forever to buy those blueprints. Now you're gonna have an opportunity to buy them in a more regular fashion. So there you go. And that actually makes me wonder if there's still gonna be available the blueprints for red tokens. But I think that probably is gonna change, that they're only gonna be found in this way once you get to level 27. But yeah, blueprints for the Sin, a very fast Class B car with crazy nitro, but horrendous drift, so there's that. Then we got the Lamborghini Murcielago. Finally, I'll be able to take it to 5-star. Jesus Christ. Mid Class B. In level 28, we got the Ferrari 812 Super Fast, which is, from what I think, it's a low-ish Class A, but there it is. Then we got the Apex AP0. Look at this, the car that a lot of people love. There it is. Now you're going to be able to get it in level 28. Good Class B. It's mid-high, so there's that. On level 29, we got the Aston Martin 177, another car that was Legend Pass, you know. I mean, again, it has gotten hunts and all of that, but it's good to see these cars that have been really rare for a long time, because if you weren't playing at the time of the hunt, you don't have this car. But now, you'll be able to get it through the garage stores. Through the Legend store. But yeah, mid-high-ish Class B. Then we got the McLaren Senna GTR, which is a maybe mid-low Class A, but there it is. We got, oh my god, at level 30, we got the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Such an incredibly powerful car in Class B. Even up to this date, it's still a very strong car, so really cool to see it over there. A lot of people, myself included in Global, I don't have this car. Maybe I have it at 1-star because I barely was able to get the blueprints. Now you're going to be able to eventually max it out, so that's pretty dope. We got also the Nissan GTR 50 Idle Design. I understand that it's a strong car, but I haven't played a lot with it. Class B, strong Class B, but I don't really know, so can't comment on it. Level 31, Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster. Only one car for this particular level, but there it is. This is a very rare car. Not a lot of people have it, so now, thanks to this, people are finally going to be able to drive this beauty of a car, which is honestly a kind of Class A 6-star car, but hey, now you're going to be able to get it for free over time. In level 32, we got the McLaren Speedtail, which is really good news because you might be thinking, well, the McLaren Speedtail, we have gotten it through the the Starway. It is true. But unless you did the tricks of taking it to 6-star through the Starway, if you knew how to do it, you have it only at 5-star. This will allow you to finally get it to the 6-star, so that's kind of neat. On level 33, I'm so excited about this. The Citroen GT by Citroen. Very, very fast Class A car with terrible acceleration, but man, now granted, not as far as the Jag XJR9 or whatever it's called, but it's still a very fast car, so man, I'm excited to get this thing finally. On level 34, we got the Aston Martin Victor, another car that has gotten some car hunts here and there. 6-star Class A car as well. Strong, not super strong, but pretty damn usable. On level 35, we got the Ferrari F8 Tributo. Honestly, I know nothing about this car. I know it's Class A. I think it's 6 stars as well, but no idea how it performs, but there it is. If you know, let me know in the comments because I have no idea. In level 30, wait, that was 35. In level 36, we get the Lamborghini Terzo Millennio, another car that normally you can only get through the red token. What? Trade coins. Over here, now you're going to be able to get blueprints for this thing in the regular Legend store once you hit level 36. In 37, we got the Vision 1789, which is kind of funny because these two cars, the Terzo Millennio and the Vision, people compare them to be basically the same cars in terms of performance. They're right next to each other in the garage levels, but there you go. Level 37, Vision 1789 Class S car, which seems to be a very mid car, just like the Terzo Millennio. In fact, I would say low Class S cars because they really cannot compete against the big boys of Class S. But once again, keep in mind that with the promise of cars being matched based on rank as opposed to just class, suddenly maybe these cars are going to be useful. That's why I say that I'm so excited about this. Anyway, we just saw level 37 with Division 38. Aston Martin Valhalla, holy moly, very, very strong Class A car. It used to be one of the kings, and to this day it remains to be a very, very strong car. So really excited to see that being on the garage now, because on the Legend Store, because now you're going to be able to unlock it for free as well over time. Level 39, we got the Automobile Pininfarina Battista, a fan favorite. I never understood why. It's a Class S car, very peculiar car, super agile but very slow. Once again, with the matchup being made by rank, this could be an opportunity for this car to do amazing. Oh man, I'm so excited about this whole thing. Level 40, which is the last level for the Collector Stage 1, is the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is another mid-low Class S car that normally has no business racing in Class S, but again, with the matchup on ranks, this could be so interesting. I'm so excited. Then we get to Collector Stage 2 finally, and again, once you get to this point, it goes back to giving you low-class cars, but again, you're gonna be able to rank quickly from level 41 to 40 something. I don't know what's gonna be, but yeah. So we get back to It'll Design Da Vinci, somewhat rare car, Renault Dresser, also somewhat rare. Then the Ford Shelby, this is another car that normally you would get for red tokens. Now you're going to be able to get the blueprints normally on the Legend Store. We got the Aston Martin V12 Speedster, Class C. By the way, these two Class C cars. I didn't mention, okay, Da Vinci and Renault Desire, mid-Class D. In level 42 with the Ford Shelby and the Aston Martin Speedster, mid-low Class C cars. Then on 43, we have the Neo EP9, low Class A. And the Bolwell MKX Nagari 500, which is a mid-lowish mid Class C car. Level 44, we got the Porsche 911 GT1 Evolution, which is a very mid-low, just a straight-up low Class B car. And we got the Bentley Continental GT Speed in Class A, which is apparently a mid or low Class A, but I've heard that it's actually pretty damn useful. I don't know, because I don't own it, but that's interesting. So that's level 44. In level 45, we get the Arash AF10 mid-low Class B and the Ferrari Monza SP1. I think it's just straight up mid Class C. And finally, we get to the gold blueprints over here. Level 46, we get the Apollo IE. What a beautiful car, man. Only available through car hunts for quite a while, but now you have the opportunity. Then we also have the McLaren GT, which is actually an elite. I think it's still elite Class C, though it's probably going to get demoted from elite soon. But yeah, McLaren GT, man, I've had this thing at 4 stars for forever. Glad that I'm finally going to be able to take it to 5 stars. Then we also got the Bentley Mulliner Bacalar, which is honestly one of the rarest cars in Class E, because there has been so few chances to get this car. Finally, people are going to be able to get it and drive it. Mid-high Class C. And then we got the Puritaria Berlinetta, very good Class B car. Though it's technically mid-high, it's a good car because it's another one of those agile cars. With good nitro and all that stuff. Level 48, we got the Gallardo, beautiful car, Class C, very high Class C car. And we got the Enzo Ferrari, which is another super rare car that you don't see in multiplayer because nobody has it. I mean, some people have it, but in general, it's a very rare car to see. Now you're going to be able to get it at level 48, which is a mid-high Class B. And level 49, we got the Lotus Evija, which is a high Class B car, pretty fast. And we got the McLaren 765 LT, which is, from what I understand, mid-high-ish Class B. That was 49. Level 50, we got the Porsche Carrera GT. Again, another car that is considerably rare. I mean, a bunch of people have it, but if you weren't playing early enough in the game, you don't have this car. I don't have it, and I want it. This is going to be my opportunity, which is what? High Class B? Not super high, but high. And we got also the Jag CX75. Which is Class A, mid, I understand, from what I understand. Level 50 that was. Level 51, we got the Lamborghini Veneno, which is a low Class S car. Again, with the rank matchups, this could be very interesting because maybe it's gonna perform okay now. Then over here, by the way, this looks a little deep fried because in the information that the content creators provided, from levels 52 and onwards, they were super dark because apparently those levels were not unlocked just yet. So I just increased the brightness and the gamma so that it looks a little bit, you can see it a little bit. But yeah, level 52, Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, the hype on this car. It's basically like a Huracan with way worse handling on shockwave and whatnot, but man, really crazy acceleration. I love this car. I have it on the Switch. Oh man, can't stop me from driving it. So yeah, excited to be able to get this car finally in global. On 53, we have the Peugeot Onyx, another car that we have in the Starway. Same situation. If you didn't manage to do the tricks to get the car to 6 stars in the Starway, now this is going to be your opportunity to get it to 6 stars. We also have on level 54 the Pagani Imola, super strong Class A car. Now this is going to take forever for you to get there, and that's what they were saying, that it's not going to be easy to get over here. So don't expect to, Asphalt Legends Unite just dropped, I'm going to be in level 54 already fighting for my Imola. It's probably going to take a while for you to get there, but the promise that you're going to get there, man, just imagine that. 6 stars Imola. Oh yeah. Then on level 55, we got the Ferrari SF90 Stradale Class S car. Another one of those cars that don't have much use at the moment, but with the ranked matchups in multiplayer, this could be really fun, because I do understand this is a very agile Ferrari, so there's that. On level 56, we got the Rimac Concept 1, very strong Class A car, 6 stars. This is the first time I think ever that it's going to be available as a free-to-play player. I could be wrong, but I think that is the case. Same for the Mola, by the way, and well, I don't know about the Stradale, but anyway. So yeah, that's 56 with the Rimac Concept 1. On level 57, we got the McLaren Senna, another car that I'm dying to unlock. Again, I wasn't playing at the time that this car was available, you know, in whatever it was. I don't know if it was Unleashed or what it was. So never had the chance to unlock this car. I'm looking forward to it. Another car that is very slow for Class S, but again, with a ranked matchup, this could be really interesting. Level 58, we got the Naran Hyper Coupe. First time I think at all that is going to be available for free-to-play players. So there's that. And finally, oh no, I'm missing still. Level 59, the Bugatti Veyron 16.4, the Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse, which again, I think it's first time that it's going to be available for free-to-players. Very, very, very rare car. Not particularly good, though. It is very fast. It goes like 440 or something like that, I think. So pretty fast. This is one of the cars that could possibly compete in Class S, so long as you can do with the low handling, and I don't know about the drift. I think it was kind of bad, but whatever. And then finally, the very last car that you can get is going to be the Lamborghini Sian, for which there is already a showroom, so I don't... Well, you know, it's fine. Mid-ish Class S car, very agile, but again, not super fast. I mean, but at least this one does reach like 390 or something, but it's still not particularly useful as it stands in the current multiplayer in Class S. But with the ranked matchups, this could be so much fun. And with that, finally, I finished reviewing the patch notes and information about the garage levels. Man, this took forever, that's why I had to split it, but I definitely wanted to take the time to show you with a little bit of tranquility. All of the cars, give you a little bit of commentary. Like I said, all of the cars that are now available in the garage levels are keyless cars. Cars that don't require a key to unlock. So you can imagine that all of those cars that are from Grand Prix and things like that, that do require the keys, they're still gonna be difficult to get, but now that you have so many cars that you will be able to get in the Legends store, now you can focus your token maybe on those other cars that need keys, and you have been like, oh, should I spend on them or not? You know, all of that stuff. Now, I don't know just yet, but I would imagine that it's going to be handled the same way that the Legends Store blueprints is handled at the moment in Asphalt 9, where that once you get to a certain garage level, let's say that you just made it to level 29, and now you, in theory, will start finding blueprints for the Aston Martin 177 and the Senna GTR. I imagine that this is going to be handled as it is right now, where you get here, but once you get to level 29, these cars are going to show in the store for tokens most of the time, very, very rarely for credits. And only until you reach level 30, these are the cars that are going to start showing for tokens, and the ones on the previous level are the ones that are going to start showing for credits much more often, because that's how it works in the game at the moment. So keep that in mind. It might still be a bit frustrating, because obviously to get these blueprints for credits is going to take a while, because you need to get to the next tier. But still, I think it's really cool that we're finally going to have so many of these cars that have been locked behind time gates. I'm going to call them time gates, where if you weren't playing at the right time, you did not manage to get the blueprints for these cars. Now you're going to be able to get so many of these cars in this way. Even, again, not only high-class cars, but even low-class cars like the Countach, the Class D Countach, which, like I said earlier, it's a car that I personally only have at 4 stars because I never had the opportunity to get it to more stars other than spending tokens, which I didn't want to do. Now I'm going to be able to finally get these blueprints. So man, this whole thing makes me really excited. The changes to the garage levels and the changes to the multiplayer being based on rank rather than class. Oh man, really, really excited. Why don't you let me know in the comments what you think about all of this? And actually also let me a comment saying, yes, DBT, I watched the entire thing. People that post that in the comments are gonna get a heart. So there you go. Well, that's gonna do it for this series of videos. more Asphalt 9 videos coming this week because we need to prepare for Asphalt Legends Unite. So this is gonna be an Asphalt 9 heavy week, but hey, we're here for it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye bye.